Another day, another Israeli massacre in Gaza. Since dawn this morning, 45 innocents have been slaughtered by this terrorist regime. Almost certainly, the weapons that killed those people came from the United States and very possibly travelled through Irish airspace. And of course, the US military, who support all this, are also using our airports. So I'd like to know, is the government going to give us the debate that we asked for about the travel of Israeli weapons to kill people in Gaza and in Lebanon? Are they going to allow that debate? And can we include in it, Taoiseach, an explanation as to whether the government is going to do anything about the fact that the central bank is facilitating the sale of war bonds by Israel, which are explicitly being marketed as financing their slaughtering and butchering of innocent people in Gaza and in Lebanon?
Thank you, Deputy.
A disgrace in itself, something the government could act on. Can we also include in that debate an explanation on the government about Ireland's role in the selling of those war bonds?
And I think Deputy Boyd Barrett should raise the issue of the Occupied Territories Bill. So the factual position is today the Taoiseach briefed the Cabinet in relation to the revised Attorney General advice. The Taoiseach has reached out to the sponsor of the bill, Senator Francis Black, has done a lot of work in relation to this issue. It's not that the government has changed its mind or changed its position. This government has always wanted to use every lever at its disposal. It's the fact that the reality has changed with the ICJ advisory opinion, and that is what the legal advice is based on. We can agree or disagree on that, but I'm just speaking to the government's position. So the ICJ advisory opinion does place an obligation on member states in relation to what's unlawful occupation. And it's in that context that the AG has now advised the Cabinet that there may be a pathway to try and progress legislation. I'm not going to get into it on the floor of this Dáil in terms of the significant changes that may be required. That's, I think, a conversation for the Taoiseach to have with the sponsor of the bill and with opposition. But I know that the Taoiseach is engaging with Senator Black. I'm sure we can provide further engagement for opposition. I'm very happy to do that. Very happy to ask the Taoiseach to do that. And I'm doing that with the view to hoping I can then sign a money message that allows the bill to be considered in the context of amendments that may be required, or certainly will be required by the Taoiseach. So that's where that's at. I don't want to get into a kind of rula-bula in relation to the timescale for this, because I think this is going to be complex. There's a lot in this, and I think the most important thing, firstly, for people to do is to be briefed in relation to that. And I know the Taoiseach has been in contact with the sponsor of the bill already. I'm happy to keep in close contact with party leaders in relation to that. My understanding in relation to the issue of overflights and now the new issue you've raised, Minister Ryan has indicated that he's happy to have that debate, and I'm very happy the week the Dáil comes back after its recess, if we have an ability to schedule that that week, we're open to that.
Thank you, Taoiseach.